This is number 11 from the 2022 8th grade math STAAR test. The graph of a linear function is shown on the coordinate grid. What is the y-intercept of the graph of this function? So the y-intercept is just wherever the line is crossing the y-axis, but on this graph it's not crossing exactly on a whole number. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find the slope of the line, and then I'm going to plug that in to y equals mx plus b to solve for the y-intercept. So the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if I plug in my numbers, I'm going to get 8 minus negative 7 over 4 minus negative 5. That's equal to 15 over 9, which reduces to 5 over 3. So our slope is 5 over 3, and now I'm going to take a point from the graph and the slope and plug it into y equals mx plus b. So my y value is 8. I'm going to set that equal to the slope, which is 5 over 3, times the x value, which is 4. Then we're going to be solving for b, which is the y-intercept. So 5 over 3 times 4 is equal to 20 over 3. And now we just need to subtract 20 over 3 from both sides. And we should get that b is equal to 4 over 3, which is letter D. This is number 12 from the 2022 8th grade math STAAR test. A circle is graphed on a coordinate grid with its center at -4, 7. The circle will be translated p units to the right and v units down. Which rule describes the center of the new circle after this translation? So they tell us that the center is -4, 7, and we're translating, which means we're just sliding our circle either up and down or left and right. So they say that we're going p units to the right, and I know that if I go to the right, I'm going to be adding, and that's going to be affecting the x value. They also say that we're going v units down, and so I know that I'm going to be subtracting, and that's going to affect the y value. So our algebraic rule should be -4 plus p, because we're going to the right, comma, 7 minus v, because we're going down. And if I look at my answer choices, that should be letter G. This is number 13 from the 2022 8th grade math STAAR test. Rhonda's job is to drive a car for a company. Each month, she is paid the same salary. She is also paid extra money for the number of miles she drives the car each month. In July, Rhonda drove 640 miles and was paid a total of $3,502. In August, Rhonda drove 820 miles and was paid a total of $3,601. Which function can be used to find y, the total amount she is paid in a month, if she drives x miles? So they tell us that x is miles and y is the total amount she is paid. So I'm going to go ahead and label each thing on the bullet points so that I know which one is x and which one is y. From there, I'm going to go ahead and find the slope. And I know that the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And once I label my x and y values, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my numbers. And I'm going to get 3,601 minus 3,502 over 820 minus 640. And once I put that into my calculator, I should get 0.55. And the only answer choice that has that as the slope is letter C. So that's our answer. This is number 14 from the 2022 8th grade math STAAR test. The table shows the cost per year of attending different types of colleges. A student is planning to attend college in 5 years. The student has saved $1,200 and plans to save another $50 per month over the next 60 months. Based on this information about the student's plan, which statement about the possible choices for a college is true? So we're going to go through and check each of these, but first, let's go ahead and see how much money the student actually has. So the student has $1,200 right now, and they're planning to save another $50 per month for the next 60 months. So they're starting with $1,200. Now let's multiply 50 by 60 to get 3,000. And if we add that 3,000 to the 1,200, we're going to get $4,200. So letter F says a student would be able to afford the cost for 1 year at a private 4-year college, and that would cost $38,000, and they do not have enough money. Letter G, the student would be able to afford out-of-state cost for half a year at a 4-year public college. So a full year of out-of-state public is $28,000, so half of that would be $14,000, but they still don't have enough for that. Letter H, the student would be able to afford in-state cost for half a year at a public 4-year college. So half of $11,000 would be $5,500. They still don't have enough for that. And then letter J, the student would be able to afford in-state cost for 1 year at a public 2-year college. That would be $4,000, and they do have enough, so the correct answer is letter J. This is number 15 from the 2022 8th grade math STAAR test. Fulgurites are pieces of glass in the shape of a cylinder produced when lightning strikes sand. A student found a fulgurite with a height of 21 inches and a diameter of 6 inches. Which equation can be used to find V, the volume of the fulgurite, in cubic inches? So the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times height. And they tell us that the height is 21, and they give us that the diameter is 6. But we don't want the diameter, we want the radius, which is half of the diameter, so our radius is going to be 3. From there, we just have to plug in our numbers to the equation. So we're going to have pi times 3 squared times 21, and if we check our answer choices, we should get letter B.